Hi, welcome to Gadgets 360. I'm Jamshed and today we are reviewing the Intex Aqua Ace, a low-cost smartphone from Intex.
Immediately upon opening its box, we're struck by how derivative the design of the Intex Aqua Ace is. While some phones manage to feel reassuring even though they're light, this one feels quite insubstantial. It's all plastic, including the rim. Our white and gold review unit looks okay, but it won't turn heads. The front is quite plain, except for the earpiece and black patches where the front camera and sensors are. The screen has narrow borders on the sides, and the area below it is blank thanks to a move to on-screen buttons. The rear is quite minimalist, thankfully devoid of garish branding. The front and back are apparently made of Gorilla Glass 3, and we found that the Aqua Ace, much like some of Sony's models, slid around way too easily when left lying flat on a table. There appear to be two speaker grills on the bottom, though only one of them is actually a speaker. The other is only for symmetry. The power and volume buttons are on the right. Also on the right is a tray for a micro SD card. The micro USB port for data and charging is up on top, next to the standard 3.5mm audio socket. On the left is another tray which can hold two micro SIM cards.
We began to notice scuffs and scratches around the plastic rim within just a day of ordinary usage.
We'd recommend using the bundled snap-on flip cover if it had been a little more attractive. Interestingly, the flip cover has a huge transparent panel which lets you use the touchscreen through it. It's not very smooth, but good enough for picking up calls or quickly checking notifications. It stays shut with a magnet, and the phone can turn the screen on or off automatically when you flip it open or closed. Intex has gone with a quad-core 1.3 GHz MediaTek MT6735 processor, which is relatively modern. One of the phone's most loudly touted features is that it comes with 3 GB of RAM, which is not that common at this price level. There's also 16 GB of storage, of which just over 10 GB is user accessible. Thankfully, micro SD card support goes all the way up to 128 GB.
3 GB of RAM might look really good on paper, but it does come with trade-offs, most notably the low-resolution 720p screen, the mediocre camera, and the build quality, which we weren't completely satisfied with.
The screen is grainy and dull, with reasonable viewing angles but poor sunlight visibility. The phone supports 4G in India on band 40 as well as bands 3 and 5. The rear camera has a 13-megapixel sensor and the one in front has a 5-megapixel sensor. The battery is of course sealed in, and its relatively low capacity of 2300 mAh has us a little wary. The Aqua Ace comes with Android 5.1 with minimal cosmetic customization. There's also a custom keyboard which was troublesome to use, and we disabled it almost immediately. There's an option to hide any app of your choosing, but not with a password or PIN. You just have to hope no one discovers the feature themselves. There are a few preloaded apps including Auto Call Record, Information, Intex Service, and one called Tethering and Portable Hotspot. Otherwise, there's only the usual Google apps. We had an issue with the phone heating up even when nothing particularly stressful was going on. We were also surprised to detect slight stutter in our 720p video files, which otherwise play perfectly on pretty much every phone these days. The inbuilt speaker delivered muddy, distorted sound even at low volume levels. The bundled headset is absolutely dreadful for music, but okay for voice calls. The cameras turned out to be major disappointments as well. Shots taken in daylight had a high risk of coming out poorly focused. Details were lost, and there was a generally artificial quality to the way everything looked. Even extreme close-ups couldn't make up for the camera's shortcomings. Shots taken indoors were far worse, and we soon gave up on trying to take any decent photos at night. The flash was overpowering enough to ruin shots. Intex is trying to push this phone with the angle that 3 GB of RAM is path-breaking at this price range, but to be honest, it doesn't make any difference. We'd much rather have had a better display and better build quality. On the other hand, we had a very pleasant surprise when our video loop battery test kept going for 10 hours and 14 minutes. We had been expecting much less considering the relatively low battery capacity. The Intex Aqua Ace gets high marks for its battery but not for its screen, performance or camera. We give it a rating of 6 out of 10 overall.
Priced at Rs 12,999, this isn't the cheapest phone around, and it faces stiff competition from Indian and international players. The Motorola Moto G 3rd generation and the Xiaomi Mi 4i sell for roughly the same price, and both offer different things. Now, neither has 3 GB of RAM, but each has its own advantages which you might want to consider. There's also the far cheaper Lenovo K3 Note, which is priced at Rs 9,990. That was our review of the Intex Aqua Ace. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments in the section below.